Last word on what's happening in Indiana has to come from the people themselves, because you hear from the politicians, you hear from the people in Washington, and certainly the discourse is continuing in Indianapolis. Our guest is host of the Indy Morning News on WIBC 93.1. He seeks right versus wrong instead of right versus left. He is always ready to accept a gift of a good cigar at the right time, I should point out. Welcome Tony Katz back into MidPoint. Tony, good to talk to you again.
Absolutely. Good to be with you.
Tony, what are the people saying in Indiana? Angry, unhappy, happy with it? What do they say also about what Mike Pence had to say or not say yesterday on ABC News?
Well, thanks for the loaded question. If you talk about what people are saying, let's talk about the fact we're only hearing from one side. The people infuriated with any concept related to RFRA. The ones who are making it about their social agenda as opposed to concepts of freedom and liberty. Now, I personally was not a fan of RFRA for Indiana because I didn't think it was necessary for Indiana. But certainly I'm in favor of the freedom of business owners to not be obligated by their government to go against their own moral code. You're not hearing many of those people. They've been drowned out, unfortunately, from what should be an open, honest, and good conversation that Indiana is affording the rest of the country. You would then have the mainstream media types, including George Stephanopoulos, who brought up Governor Pence on this week. George Stephanopoulos was desperate to get one question asked, and that question was to pin Governor Pence into being pro or anti-gay, which is really an absolutely horrible and despicable thing to do, considering that RFRA has nothing to do with that.
Well, wait a minute, 1 second here. Why is it horrible and despicable again and again? I always go right down the middle there. Why is it so bad to just ask for a yes or a no answer?
It's not a question of the yes or no answer. It's a question of whether or not the question has any value. To say that RFRA is specifically about whether or not someone is gay to be discriminated against would go against what RFRA is really about. This is a case about whether or not someone could do peyote back in 1993. This is, in many states across the country, it wasn't solely about whether or not your sexual orientation was the determining factor here. That certainly wasn't what Barack Obama was voting about in Illinois in 1998. So the question itself is suspect and meant to move forward a meme and a narrative, not in any way, shape, or form to talk about the veracity or the validity of the law itself.
All right, Tony, what about those then who say that this will allow individuals and businesses to discriminate on the basis of religion? They can say that we believe in a certain religion, we don't believe in how you practice your sexual mores, if you will, so we then will not allow you into our business. What about those who say that is the key point?
Well, they're now engaging in a little precog. You would think that they're Tom Cruise and Minority Report. We haven't seen that in any of the other states, and certainly that's not happening here. You do sometimes see cases of people who, for a religious purpose, won't engage a particular service or product. They always use the wedding cake as the example. But here in Indiana, an amazing thing is happening. The market is once again proving itself to be the victor in all cases. People are putting up stickers in their businesses that say, we serve everyone. Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to go? If because of your religious underpinnings, you have an objection to providing the cake or the service or whatever the case may be, I believe you have that right based on a serious and true moral or religious underpinning.
Okay, then I only got a minute left here, Tony. I understand it, but a minute left. What are the people telling you? What did they say this morning on your station?
They're saying that they really have no problem specifically with the law, even if they don't like it. What they hate is Indiana and Hoosiers being attacked for no reason. They're disgusted by it, by what the mainstream media are doing, and we're all standing up to say, you don't get to call us bigots. We won't allow it. We won't accept it, especially from the people like Miley Cyrus of the world.
Well, I don't think anybody puts any salt to what Miley Cyrus says. Certainly, perhaps only her father then, who might get the paycheck. But a couple of seconds left here. What then are you doing? What are the people of Indiana prepared to do in order to fight up against this characterization of your state?
Call liars, liars. We got the Final Four in town this weekend, and we're going to show the world how we do it Hoosier style.
Is there going to be a demonstration, you're saying, then, at the Final Four? There'll be some way there to show?
No, it's that nothing's going to happen. People are going to have a beer, they're going to have dinner, they're going to sleep in hotels, and there won't be a single incident. Why? Because there's no interest in incidents. There's only an interest in you enjoying our city, you enjoying Indiana, and us taking your money for it.
Call that the last word, as it always is. Tony Katz on WIBC in Indianapolis. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk again.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Second hour on MidPoint. We open the gates to the arena for the no-holds-barred on the Iranian nuke deal and much more.